God. We're more like the prey. Look at the women's faces. I'm so curious as to what my girls are thinking over there. We're more like the prey. Hold on one second, though, ladies. Ian does say the art of courtship is dead. The art of courtship is dead. Yeah, you don't hear that like we did back in the day. When I do hear that, like, I want to court you. I think the last time I heard that, I remember 2017. I heard that. I do everything by years for whatever reason. But he was like, I want to court you. I said, sir, you better be old school. So yeah, it does. I don't hear it like I used to. Okay, women, what do y'all want to say? Gab, I see you nodding your head.
Well, just going back into the original conversation of women being more aggressive, I definitely have seen women proposing online, hearing about women proposing. So in that aspect, I can understand where the men are coming from. But I do have a question. If you think, if the men think because a woman is being forthcoming about, hey, we're in this relationship, but the end goal I'm looking for or desiring, long-term relationship, desiring marriage, if that's coming off aggressive, I'm curious to know if that is what the aggression is, or it's actually the women coming up to you and saying like, hey, I'm going to hit you upside the head and you're going to be my man. Like, what is the difference there? I'm really curious before, like, I really get into, firing back. And I think I saw one of the comments say something similar, that it's not aggression, it's being forthcoming.
And I want to apologize, because I think I did say more aggressive. I should have found another term to use, but I guess in the way I grew up, and what I've experienced, women are more passive. But not this day, but I'm just saying back in the past, they were more passive. And it was expected. It was the expectation for men to be more aggressive. Like, we had to make that first step. We had to do this, do that. So I'm just saying it's different. And I think I used the term aggressive. Maybe I shouldn't have used that term. I'll try to find another one to use. But like now, a woman will ask you out on a date, like you said, so it's just different. I'm just saying, like, maybe it's not a passive, and I'm using passive and aggressive as the words, but I think women were more passive in the past, and men were more aggressive. And I think now, like, the roles have almost reversed. But I don't want to use that term, because that term is a little brash.
It's okay. It's a safe place. You can say what you need to say.
Love it.
Definitely. I agree with D. Will. A lot of times it's more women take the initiative now more. They're more sure of themselves. It was like back in the day, it was like you had to take the time to understand if you wanted to even get to know that girl. Nowadays, women are more, hey, I want to get to know you. Let me take you out. It's changed. And aggressive. I agree with you. I apologize for using that word. We should have found something more forthcoming. Is like you said, women are more forthcoming, and it's shocking because you never know how they will present it. And it was like back in the day, you just expected men to do a lot of the things that the women take the initiative in doing.
Dr. Lynn, I see your face just, it has changed a few times here. Can you please chime in? What do you want to say on this topic?
Not a lot, actually. I think they clarified the aggressive, because aggressive is a negative. To me, it's a negative connotation, but they clarified that for me. So I don't necessarily see a problem with that. It's just I hear them saying, women ask men out on dates, and I am not one to dispute your lived experiences. So I know it's true. But for me, it's just kind of, I cringe when I hear it, because why? Right. It's and I totally think that I agree with women. Like, you should know what you want. That's the whole point of dating, right? To figure out, I like this, I don't like this, I will deal with this, I will not deal with this. So it's kind of you're not going in and saying, I'm just going to deal with whatever there is, but you should be able to, in safe relationships, be able to verbalize what you like, what you dislike, etc. It's just the whole, I guess, going after men by being, I guess, asking them on dates or whatever is just foreign to me. I tend to hang, and I think we do this. We hang around people who are like us,
Right.
And so in my circle of friends, like I'll make that facial expression when we hear that. But I'm not saying, I know that happens. I'm on social media too, so I see the stuff that Gabby was talking about, like women proposing and looking crazy and stuff. So those were the facial. I have facial expressions, my bad, but I don't really have anything to add with that one.
Yeah. Okay.
And y'all, I think it comes to a level of like a caliber of people that you may,
right,
associate with. So I think if you're at a certain status, that might be different, for certain people. So and the word aggressive, I'll say straightforward. I'm taking aggressive, I'm say straightforward.
Interesting. I want to say this. In my experiences, I've noticed that, y'all tell me if y'all agree or what y'all think about this. I've noticed that because of that, see, the men pretty much said exactly what I was thinking they were going to say, except the word aggression. But that's okay, Shady Will. But I realized that I think because of that, whatever you want to call that, them initiating things, it seems like there's been a lot of men getting comfortable, the pursuit, a lot of, more relaxed. And even those that I've talked to, they tell me, well, I'm just, I'm so used to women. Oh, we got a whole paragraph over here. Y'all come on in the comment section. We'll be right with you. But I feel like because of that, because of women initiating and things more, a lot of men have kind of maneuvered that and changed their way of doing things because of that. So it seems like, I want to say but I'm like Kim, me and my group, we're not in that to where we do that. But I feel like we as women, in general, have we caused this lack of pursuit from men? You know what I'm saying? What do y'all think? Not me. I know I haven't. Or, people right. like me who are still pretty, if you want to say old school in that fact, like we haven't. But do you think that that's the cause? That's the cause of it?
I consider myself, I'm going to use the word very feminine. I do. All my friends consider me very feminine. And so that femininity won't allow me to, ask a man out. So, so that's my preface. However, it's kind of like the story of like what comes first, the chicken or the egg. Was it that men stopped pursuing or stopped being forthcoming with what they want as far as a relationship? Because we're talking adults here, So was it the men, or did the women start being assertive or start being straightforward about what they're expecting because the men were not doing that? And so for me, it feels like a dance or a play between, what comes first, the chicken or the egg. And whereas my understanding is, and my belief is like the men set the standard, whether they want to believe it or not. Well, the women set the standard, but the men enforce it. So if they are actually, taking that masculine role or that old traditional man and actually pursuing a lady and initiating the courtship, then a lady wouldn't have a reason to, to be forceful or assertive about what she's desiring.
There you go. My. Helena, we're going to hear from you in a second. I'm going to read some comments because they're blowing us up over here, right? Do y'all see that? Okay, I want to say real quick. All right, Tori Williams says, everyone's standards are too high, men and women. Ian says, okay, he's talking about the aggression. He says the end goal should definitely be established early in a relationship. Okay, love it. You're right, Ian. Ian says women are not aggressive. They're just in a position to initiate conversations and dating scenarios. He said they're just in a position. I'm thinking he's saying, what nowadays? And so we're just in that position now to initiate conversations and dating scenarios. I think that's what he's saying. Okay, LaQuisha, she says courtship starts with example. Some men were never taught the correct approach. And I'm reading this one because I see people saying, yes, I agree. So let's get into it. She says courtship starts with examples. Some men were never taught the correct approach. That's right. As for women being the aggressors, it's caused by the media. The focus has gone away from the respectful or biblical way of courtship. Elders aren't as big as teachers as most of our grands were. We have too many 30s trying to be 20s in age. No one is setting the tone. We are women of value. We have worth. And the right man will find us. Amen, LaQuisha. I agree that we should lay our expectations on the table from the start. You see, that's one in my inner circle. So yes, ma'am, LaQuisha, you are right. So yeah, love it. All right, Miss Helena Jones, do you want to chime in? What are your thoughts?
No, I just agree with that last statement that there's really nowadays, I know I'm closer to 40 and I still will not approach a man and ask them out or ask them to marry me. That's just not something that I will do. But also they really don't have sometimes that example of what is it like to have that initial conversation. How do you even start a conversation with someone about maybe the opposite sex? And I just think the communication piece, we really need to kind of focus in on that. If we can't communicate from the very beginning, how are we going to, move forward through the dating process? And so it's hard to even hear that women that we are perceived to be, straightforward nowadays and things like that, because again, I believe in the man, pursuing the woman. So I kind of agree with everyone on this topic.
Love it. Thank you, Helena. That was so good. All right. Yes, sir. Shady Will.
Yeah, I think that, because of the way society is, and like I say, I'm not knocking us men and where we are. There's a lot more success. You see more successful women in society these days. So I understand, with the straightforward and even with the aggression, because, it get a lot deeper than what we're talking about with dating. But look, you got to look at it. Single parent households contributing to that. And also just that level of success with women compared to what it was back in the day. It's really, really high, so I'm like, some men don't, we're not as successful as y'all are. And I'm saying, well, and that's to say I might be putting my foot in my mouth, but I'm just saying, like, I can understand why it seems like, it's being perceived that it can be like that. But even if it is, I mean, what's wrong with that? With a woman being, a little bit more sure, maybe that we might need to put up our game up so we can be better,
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Love it. I think that I'm speaking for all women when I say, don't, just because you see, this is what I would say to, what I've told guys before, like, don't stop what to do, to pursue, to treat a lady as a queen, not to wait until she texts you, like we just said, though, some men don't even know how to do that. They never even saw that or knew that was the way to do it, right? But for those of you who do know, like, don't stop because of those women out there who are being aggressive and who can't wait for the right person, and they're, you know what I'm saying? And they're doing all the masculine stuff. Like, don't stop being you, because women out here like myself and these other queens on this stage, like, we're gonna do it the right way. We're not about to go out looking for you and handing out our numbers. Like, we're doing it the way we, we're doing it the way we know to do it, and we want to do it. And that is to let you guys pursue us, to initiate, you know what I mean?
And I kind of want to just piggyback on that is we are becoming more successful in this new generation. And that's the thing. At work, yes, I demand, I have to be, a boss. I have to, really kind of set the tone there. And that's a lot to deal with. And then to have to go into a relationship and carry on that same energy and that same those same traits, that's hard. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to allow a man to kind of take on that role, and allow me to relax. Let me enjoy not having to be that what's the word? I don't know. I feel like with the roles changing of us being more in leadership positions in our professional life, my personal life, I don't think I wanted to carry that on in certain aspects, especially in a relationship. I want to relax a little bit.
Amen. I love it. Okay, you guys, we could go on. I know with many of these questions, like we could talk on forever. I guess I should read something in the comments real quick. I like how Miss Aviance, if I'm saying your name right, men are natural hunters. When they want something, they'll get it. Amen. I feel the same way as Helena. You know, I feel the same way, and I think that we can all agree, Gabby and Kim, I feel like we can all agree, like at the end of the day, we don't want to be that. I know that someone would label me independent. I mean, I have my own house. I don't have kids yet. I don't have, you know what I mean? And I remember, I remember talking to a guy one time and he was like, oh yeah, you know, you're independent. Like you don't want. And he kept saying that, like, yeah, you're independent. So like, what do you need from me? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, to take this load off. Like, I don't want all, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I say to take this load off loosely, but you know what I mean though? Like at the end of the day, I don't want to reach out to you. I don't want to do that. So yeah. Okay, y'all want to move on? Shall we move
Excuse
on?
me, let me chime in real quick.
Go ahead.
I think a lot of times men find it masculine. That's the word, masculine. And women being dominant in the workforce, being dominant at work, taking those leadership roles, sometimes it bleeds into the dating realm. And I don't want to say it intimidates men. It intimidates some men. And it makes it seem as if it's aggression. We were talking about the pursuit and initiating the pursuit of dating. And men shy away from women who are seeming independent or powerful because they don't have a standard of a woman or a standard of value. A lot of times men now date for what's easier or what's convenient. They don't date for a challenge anymore. They don't date for longevity. They don't date for communication. So a lot of times, like D. Will was saying, it's a lot of things that play factors into when we say aggression or straightforward. The men who take problem in women who are independent probably are somehow codependent. So I just want to chime in and say that all men don't have those hangups on aggression or really clear communication. It's the controlling. Some women take aggression and independence and make it controlling of a narrative. So that's what that is.
Thank you, Corey. Thank you. Okay, with that question, with that statement, it takes us into my next question. Is marriage still the goal in dating in 2023? Y'all, thank y'all for chiming in the comments. Please continue, okay? And I'll get to them. I'm trying to balance out the comments and talking to the panel. So y'all, please, I see them. Please continue. So is marriage still the goal? I don't know what happened to Qantas. I hope he's cool. I'm gonna text him. What y'all think?
I think it is and it isn't. It depends on the person. I think people are not necessarily like so hard up to be married for several reasons. I think going back to women being able to did I lose the show? Am I off? Am I here? Okay.
No,
women being able to I didn't see. Okay. Women being able to be independent and be able to handle things themselves. Like it's not necessary to get married to be able to own property. It's not necessary to get married to be able to have certain things like it was in the past.